There's a painting that's been quietly passed from one household to another, whispered about between generations, not because it's expensive, but because it moves things that money can't. Not everyone believes in symbols, but almost everyone has something in their home they keep just in case. A coin on the windowsill, a photo turned slightly to the right, a chair no one sits in but no one moves either. This isn't about superstition. It's about energy and how the things we place in our homes shape the way we move through our lives. Today, I want to show you a painting that's known in many cultures for its ability to stir momentum. 7 horses, galloping in the same direction, full of force and purpose. Not framed in gold, not glowing in neon, just 7 horses in motion. And if you hang them in the right place, exactly facing the right way, many believe they don't just shift the feel of a room. They shift the flow of money, work, and clarity. In the next few minutes, I'll show you where that place is, why this works for some people and why for others it doesn't, and most of all, how to turn one quiet wall in your house into a starting line for something that finally moves. Part 1. Not every horse painting brings luck. You can walk into any home decor store and find a painting of horses. Graceful, galloping, polished, perfectly placed. But here's something most people don't realize: not every horse painting brings luck. In fact, some might quietly block it. Because a picture, no matter how beautiful, is not just what it looks like, it's what it carries, what it says, and most importantly, what direction it's trying to take you. Some paintings are just art. Others are silent instructions to your space and your spirit. Let's start here. Why horses? In almost every culture that's ever existed, horses have meant movement, power, forward motion, the willingness to run even when the terrain is rough. A painting of horses isn't about animals, it's about momentum. Now, imagine that momentum but reversed. Horses standing still, or worse, galloping in the wrong direction. That kind of energy hanging right over your couch or behind your back doesn't inspire, it confuses. It drains. It stops things before they begin. Think about it. Have you ever had a stretch of time where everything just felt heavy? Not dramatic, just slow. Projects you were excited about lose steam. Conversations fizzle before they find clarity. Work feels like walking through fog, and you can't quite name why. It's not failure, it's friction. Something in the space feels paused, like a song that never reaches its chorus. Sometimes that pause isn't coming from you. It's coming from what's facing you, from what's hanging on your wall, quietly insisting we're not going anywhere. That's why the details of a horse painting matter more than people think. Are the horses moving, or are they still? Are they charging forward, heads high and eyes focused, or are they standing in a shadow, clustered with no clear direction? Are they free or restrained? And most importantly, are they running into the space or straight out the door? Because energy, like people, follows intention. A painting where the horses are charging outward, facing a window or an exit, doesn't symbolize abundance, it symbolizes departure. It says the momentum is leaving, the force is exiting, the wealth is moving away. And for someone hoping to bring in a new flow of opportunity, that quiet misplacement can turn into weeks or even months of unseen resistance. But there's more to it than just direction. There's feel, the tone, the color. Some paintings, no matter how well painted, feel dim. Their light is dull, their background flat. They may match your couch cushions perfectly, but do they lift the energy of the room? Or do they pull it down? A good horse painting should feel alive. You should almost hear the wind, feel the dust, sense the urgency. It should remind you of a part of yourself that's ready to move again. You don't need to be an expert in symbolism to feel when something clicks. You know that feeling. You've walked into rooms where something felt open and full of possibility, and others where, without knowing why, you just wanted to leave. What's on your wall isn't just decoration. It's direction. And before we move forward, it's worth asking, is the thing you've hung in your home nudging you closer to motion, or quietly holding you back? Part 2. 3 places that let money flow in your living room, where energy makes its first impression. Walk into someone's home, and within the first 30 seconds, you've already formed an impression, often without a word being spoken. The same thing happens with energy. It steps in when you do. It pauses at the threshold, and the very first space it touches sets the tone for everything that follows. That's why, if you're going to place a painting that's meant to move things, money, motivation, momentum, the living room is the first place to begin. This room isn't just where guests sit. It's where your home speaks its first sentence to the world. Now, take a quiet look at your own. What does it say when you walk in? Is it welcoming? Open? Or does it feel like something got stuck somewhere between the furniture and the walls, waiting for you to notice? Because energy doesn't flow just because you wish it to. It flows where there's room, where there's clarity, where something is actively inviting it in. And that's where the painting comes in. A painting of 7 horses in motion doesn't just hang there, it carries intent. It's a signal, and like all signals, it needs to be clear. The most important thing to understand is this: where you place it matters just as much as the painting itself.
The ideal spot in most homes is the wall to your right as you stand inside and face your front door, or,
if the layout allows, the wall directly opposite the entrance. This isn't random. The right side of a home tends to carry what energy practitioners call yang, forward, moving, active, open energy. But beyond philosophy, there's something deeply intuitive about this. Imagine walking into your living room after a long day, and your eye is met not by clutter or passivity, but by an image of powerful, synchronized movement, horses charging in, not out. That moment shifts you, even if only a little, and that shift accumulates. But here's the subtle truth: placement direction matters more than most people realize. If the horses in your painting are facing the door, running toward the exit, you're symbolically sending wealth and opportunity away. You're literally showing motion, but it's in the wrong direction. Aesthetically, it might still look balanced, but energetically, it's like leaving a window cracked open during a storm. You're inviting movement, but you're not controlling where it goes. When horses face inward, into the body of the home, it tells a different story. One of support, of energy arriving, not leaving. And here's the part that resonates for so many women, especially those in seasons of transition or quiet reinvention. You may not be able to control the pace of life, but you can choose the direction of your surroundings. You can hang something that says, in silence, I'm not done, I'm just beginning again. The living room is also where we place ourselves in view of others. It's where we sit across from friends, handle difficult conversations, reconnect with loved ones, or even just scroll in quiet. And in these moments, the space around us affects how we feel subtly but constantly. A horse painting in this room doesn't just shift wealth energy, it shifts self-image. It reflects who you are choosing to become. Someone who still moves forward. Someone who still has momentum left in them. Someone who's making space for something better. And the beauty of this practice is that it doesn't ask you to believe blindly. It simply asks you to notice. To notice whether you feel a little lighter, more grounded, more directed after you've placed something with intention. Now let's talk about framing, not just the frame of the artwork, but how the painting fits into your room. A poorly placed piece, even a powerful one, can feel lost. Maybe it's hung too high, too cramped between furniture, or competing with a loud gallery wall. But when placed with care, eye level, centered, with space to breathe, it becomes an anchor. A gentle but firm center of gravity. And if the room is clean, open, and quietly lit, the effect compounds. You've created not just decoration, but direction. This is also the room where we most often forget that energy lingers. Every guest who's visited, every conversation that's happened here, every memory tucked between the cushions, these things build up over time. They settle into the corners. A painting that embodies motion can stir that stillness. It can refresh the tone of a space without you having to repaint a single wall. That's not magic, it's intention meeting environment. But perhaps the deepest reason to begin with the living room is this: it's the place you pass through the most, but pause in the least. You walk by it, drop your keys, fold laundry. Maybe it's tidy, maybe it's not. But rarely do we see it as a spiritual entry point. And yet it is. Every morning you wake up and walk through that room, the energy there has a chance to meet you or miss you. So why not meet it with something moving, something aligned, something quietly alive? You don't need words. The right image in the right place speaks for you. Especially when it shows strength, unity, and forward force. Let it be more than art. Let it be an invitation. When the living room carries this kind of presence, it doesn't just impress visitors, it anchors you. And maybe, just maybe, that's when you start to notice the small shifts. Work feels lighter, conversations deepen, opportunities feel a little closer. And you begin to realize it wasn't the painting itself that changed things. It was how you decided to use your space, with clarity, with meaning, with motion. Be behind your desk, your invisible support team. There's a reason so many high-end offices position the desk against a wall with something solid behind it. Not a window, not a blank, cold surface, but something grounding. something that feels like support. And if you've ever worked from your kitchen table, your bed, or a noisy shared space, you've felt the difference. A space without a boundary behind you can slowly drain your focus. You feel exposed, unanchored, like something's missing, even if you can't name it. That's why the wall behind your desk matters more than people think. It's not just architecture, it's psychology, it's posture, it's energy. And when you hang the right image there, especially one with forward momentum, it becomes your invisible team. A quiet source of pressure that doesn't weigh you down, it lifts you. Imagine this 7 horses, not just framed but moving with you. Positioned behind you, they don't just decorate the wall, they become a symbol of what's backing you up. Not people, not luck, but movement itself. And in a world where we're told to hustle, push, achieve, sometimes all we need is something that reminds us to keep going, not to keep grinding. There's a difference. One comes from stress, the other comes from alignment. This setup is especially powerful for those working alone, small business owners, caregivers with side projects, retired women starting over with something they've put off for years. It's not about the money. It's about having something that silently says you're not behind. You're behind something strong, and that small shift changes everything. Your spine straightens, your thoughts settle, you stop reaching backward and start leaning in. Now, let's talk about direction, because just like in the living room, it matters here too. The horses in your painting should face the same direction as you. If you're facing forward at your screen, they should be galloping that way too. When their energy and your gaze align, it's as if the space is agreeing with your movement. There's no subtle resistance, no conflict. You're not being pulled backward by what's behind you. You're being carried. But the real magic happens when the painting behind you is well lit. Light does something to an image, it activates it. A dim, shadowed painting feels like it's not fully there. And when you sit with your back to something lifeless, it doesn't give you anything back. So make sure there's light, natural or soft ambient light that touches the painting gently, even during the quiet hours of the day. That small touch makes the room feel more awake. And when the room wakes up, so do you. Over time, this creates more than ambience. It creates consistency. Because unlike affirmations that need repeating, or motivational quotes you eventually stop reading, this painting becomes part of the space. Its energy doesn't shout, it hums. And that hum, if chosen with care, reminds you that your effort is being supported by something steady. Not random, not loud, just steady. For women who've spent years supporting others, it can feel strange to ask for support back, even symbolically. But this is the moment to shift that. To place something behind you that carries its own momentum, and lets you borrow it. To trust that being held, even energetically, isn't weakness, it's wisdom. And if you ever find yourself stuck creatively, financially, emotionally, look behind you. Not for answers, but for alignment. What's back there? A blank wall, a chaotic bulletin board, or something that moves silently in your favor? Hang the horses and let their direction become yours. See east-facing wall, where morning light meets movement. There's something sacred about morning light. It doesn't ask for attention. It just arrives quiet, soft, but unmistakably alive. And in many traditions, the east side of a home is where new energy begins. It's where light enters first, where a space breathes in before it does anything else. So when you place a painting of motion there, especially one filled with force and direction, you're not just decorating a wall. You're placing your goals where the sun can see them. Think about the first room you walk into each day. What greets you? For many, it's the kitchen, the hallway, the same neutral corner of a quiet house. But what if, instead, the first thing that met your eyes wasn't a mess to clean or a list to tackle, but a surge of movement? 7 horses in stride, illuminated not by spotlight, but by real morning light filtered through your windows, casting soft shadows, pulling energy forward. That's not just atmosphere, that's rhythm. That's motion placed where it belongs at the very beginning. Hanging your painting on an east-facing wall does more than activate energy, it resets your relationship with time. Every sunrise becomes a reminder, not of what's waiting on your calendar, but of what's possible if you move with purpose. This is especially powerful if you're in a season of starting over. New job, retirement, downsizing, divorce, or simply reclaiming space that once served others. The East doesn't promise perfection, but it promises light. And when you anchor that light to an image of progress, your mornings become a little more magnetic. You get pulled, not pushed, into your day. Now, let's be practical. This doesn't require a dramatic renovation. You don't need a grand foyer or cathedral ceilings. You need a wall, one that faces the sunrise or catches its light at some point in the morning. A place not covered by curtains or blocked by clutter. A wall you can see clearly. And when you hang your horses there, make sure they're running into the room, not away. You're not chasing light, you're joining it. Color matters here too. A painting hung on the east should feel awake, not dim, not brooding. Choose tones that echo daylight, warm golds, soft browns, pale blues, open skies. When the morning hits it, you want the image to glow, not disappear. This is where your day begins. Let it begin with clarity. But more than color, more than orientation, the key here is consistency. Let the painting stay. Let it grow into the wall. Let the light find it again and again until it feels like part of the room's heartbeat. Because momentum isn't a burst, it's a build. And when the same image meets your eyes every morning, you start to absorb its energy before you even realize it. You breathe deeper, move sooner, procrastinate less. Not because the painting is magical, but because you place something meaningful where your day starts. And that, over time, rewires more than your room. It rewires your rhythm. So if you've been craving a gentle shift, not a full restart, but a nudge in the right direction, start here. East, light, movement, not loud, not fast, just consistent. Because the best energy doesn't crash in, it comes with the sunrise and stays. Part 3. Don't just buy a picture, choose a presence. Anyone can buy a picture. Walk into any home store and you'll find horses printed on canvas, glossy, stylized, even elegant. But this isn't about what you buy. It's about what you bring home. Because not all images carry presence, and not all presence supports you. If the painting on your wall doesn't feel like it's breathing, like it's carrying something alive, with weight and intention, it's just decor. And decor can't hold you through change. So how do you choose a painting that does more than match your furniture? You start by noticing how it moves on the canvas and in you. A good horse painting doesn't sit still, it charges. It pulls your eyes into the frame. It creates direction, tension, rhythm. The horses should look alive, not overly perfect, not posed, not frozen. Their eyes alert, their posture leaning forward, their energy felt in your chest before your mind catches up. You don't just see it, you feel yourself standing straighter, thinking more clearly, feeling more ready. And then there's the color. A presence has light. Choose paintings that hold warmth, not heaviness. Look for sunlight in the scene, glow on the horses' backs, skies that feel open, a sense of morning or motion. Stay away from gray, flat, or dim backgrounds. Even if they look expensive, they can dull the energy in your room. A presence invites clarity. A shadow invites fatigue. It doesn't have to be bright, but it should feel clear. Frame matters too. A crooked frame even slightly creates energetic imbalance. Not because of superstition, but because when the body of something is off, its message gets distorted. That's how presence works. It's not just what's visible, it's what's felt in the small details: alignment, sharpness, depth, care. Still unsure? Use this test. Stand in front of the painting before you buy it. Don't ask what it means, ask how it makes you breathe. If you exhale deeper, if your eyes follow the horses and feel pulled, not pushed, you've found something worth keeping. If you hesitate, look twice, or feel a heaviness in your chest, walk away. Energy speaks before logic has a chance to interrupt. And one last thing, never reuse a painting from someone else's home unless you know its full story. A horse painting, once hung and lived with, starts to absorb the atmosphere around it. The successes, the disappointments, the pace of the home it lived in. Passing that to a new wall without intention is like slipping into someone else's shoes and wondering why they don't fit. If you're starting fresh, choose something new. Choose it for your energy, your moment, your space. Because this isn't about having more. It's about being met by a symbol that doesn't just decorate your room, but walks beside you through whatever comes next. Part 4. Intention is the real magic. It's easy to think that once you hang the painting, the work is done. That a symbol, once placed, will simply do its job like a faucet turned on or a switch flipped. But the truth is more subtle, more honest. The painting doesn't hold the magic. You do. The painting just listens. And how you place it, why you place it, what energy you bring to the moment, that's what tells it what to do. Intention isn't a ritual. It's attention with direction. It's the moment before the action, the breath before you hang the frame, the clarity before you drive the first nail. Most people skip that step. They decorate quickly, instinctively, reacting to what looks good instead of what feels right. And then they wonder why nothing changes, why the space stays still, why the momentum never arrives. But when you place a symbol, any symbol, with clarity, something shifts. Not in the room, in you. You step into alignment. You send a quiet signal: I'm ready. not desperate, not wishing, just open, grounded, awake. That's what makes the painting work. Not belief, not superstition, but your own decision to anchor something on the wall with meaning behind it. That meaning doesn't have to be dramatic. It can be as simple as a sentence: I want more ease at work. I want my finances to stabilize. I want to feel steady again. Say it out loud, or just inside before you lift the painting. Let the space know why it's changing. That's enough. And once it's placed, let it stay. Don't move it every time the furniture shifts or the light changes. Energy builds over time, like roots under soil. Keep uprooting it, and the growth never starts. But if you leave it, honor it, allow it to settle, it begins to radiate. Quietly, consistently. Like a fire you don't see, but always feel. There's one more thing most people don't think about. Once a painting starts to belong to your space, it begins to blend with your home's rhythm. Your routines, your highs and lows. It's no longer neutral, it holds energy. Which is why you shouldn't give it away, and why, when someone offers you a used horse painting, you should pause. Not out of fear, but respect. You wouldn't borrow someone else's journal. You wouldn't wear someone's shoes without knowing where they've walked. A painting, especially one placed with intention, is just as personal. Let it be yours fully. Because in the end, that's what this is about. Not where the painting goes, but what you've decided to make room for. And once you've made that space, not just on the wall, but in yourself, that's when the energy begins to respond. Not always loudly, not always immediately, but surely, steadily. Like momentum returning after a long pause, like wealth remembering where it belongs. Final, so maybe today, we didn't just talk about a painting. We talked about placement, about momentum, about the quiet but powerful decision to let your home reflect where you want your life to go. 7 horses on canvas may seem like a small thing, but symbols carry weight not because they are magical, but because you are. Your focus, your intention, your readiness, that's what turns a wall into a message, a room into movement, a quiet space into something quietly alive. We explored where energy enters your living room, where you stand your workspace, and where your days begin the east wall. We talked about presence, not perfection, and how what you choose to hang is often a mirror of what you're ready to receive. Not someday, now, because nothing outside you can bring wealth, focus, or peace unless something inside you is willing to welcome it. If you've made it this far, thank you. Thank you for listening, not just with your ears, but with your space. Your home is more than 4 walls. It's a living echo of your hopes, your rhythm, your story. And maybe today, something shifted in how you see it. That matters more than you know. So wherever you are right now, whether in a season of rebuilding or simply craving light, may your home begin to move with you. Gently, steadily, with just enough momentum to remind you you're not stuck. You're just one shift away from flowing again. Take care, and may your space and your spirit stay beautifully aligned.